in my experience, in my humble opinion. If a man comes and says, I got a clinical diagnosis for BPD, I'm gonna be very careful with him, because 9 times out of 10 they get it right. When women show up with CPTSD, whether they get a female clinician or a male clinician, that human being, that clinician, subjectively through their training will detect BPD, but it's not. It's just CPTSD. BPD is still rare, like narcissism is still statistically quite rare, but they hand out BPD diagnoses, especially to adolescent women. A BPD diagnosis to an adolescent woman, an adolescent female girl, is nearly useless, because we're all BPD when we're adolescents, but women more so. It's not useful to give them that clinical stamp, because it's a nasty diagnosis. It's really bad. So what you'll get, and I know I've seen this on your channel more than on mine, is people with BPD who've attached to the diagnosis trying to reclaim the space and be like, no, we're quiet borderlines, we're kind borderlines, we're not like that borderlines. It's like, no, you're not borderlines at all. You just have CPTSD. If I can resolve like 90% of your symptoms inside of 6 months of therapeutic work, you don't have a personality disorder. And we know that this happens with BPD. We know that people grow out of BPD. How's that a personality disorder? It's not. It's just overdiagnosed and it's misdiagnosed. Little rant there, but I just wanted to be clear so that we don't get as much crap here.
Yeah,
Cheers.
but they'll still figure out a way.
They'll find a way to be offended.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the people who insist on being offended, that's actually fragile narcissism. That's vulnerable narcissism. So we're still in the cluster B spectrum, but even that isn't. Those who insist on finding offense are better understood as fragile narcissists. I'm with Judith Herman. I think it's a redundant diagnosis. You have, for me, you're either CPTSD, which means you can be an asshole. You can be an asshole. People are in pain, act like jerks. That's no problem. It's not fixed. Or you're a fragile, non-grandiose, non-classic narcissist. That's how, and that you can't work with. This you can. So yeah, the people who insist on taking offense, fragile narcissism. Do something else with your time, kids. Go to the gym.
Yeah. So if I were to come across a video that mentions the thing, there's that heavy clinging to this label and somehow keeping it like pure borderline, like unabusive, abusive personality disorder.
Not well, I mean, which exists. You can have a non-abusive personality disorder, but not in the cluster B. For it to be a cluster B personality disorder, you must be exploitative. You must be entitled. End of. That's not Richard's opinion. That's mainstream. That's completely mainstream.
Right. So in order to have a personality disorder within cluster B, by definition, it means you're at least a little abusive. So if you take
more than a little,
more than a little, a lot of abusive. So if you take the abusive out of the cluster B, then it's not that thing anymore. It's something else.
No,
you take cheese from a pizza, it becomes bread.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's the effort to reclaim borderline and turn it into something else